Tired of the same old thing? If you like carrying something a little different around in your pocket, well, our friends at Unihertz have you covered. They were nice enough to send along this TickTock-S for review. Just a little something different. Lots to like about this device. The number one thing to like, link will be in the description, is the price. There's currently a pre-order bonus going on where you can get this guy for $269. And when I go over what it's got in it and what it can do and the quality of this device for $269, you're going to be quite impressed. First off is the build. Its build is it's kind of a rugged device, which it is. You got TPU soft plastic. It is nice to the touch. I like it better than the external feel of the TickTock-E. This one feels a bit more premium, which is good with the metal sides. So we'll go ahead and block out a call. You can see, listen, it's doing it for me. This is the rear display, the 1.6-inch rear display, the subscreen, which we're going to get to in a moment. But the metal on the sides, fingerprint sensor, volume up and down. You got two programmable keys, which we'll get to in a moment as well. But you got a nice rugged build. You got an extra little raised lip here. It does come with a screen protector pre-installed. It's not tempered glass, but it'll get the job done. But you can see the lip there on the build to give a little extra protection. It thickens out here at the sides, which is good for any corner drops. But you can see your screen is protected with that raised lip. And you're going to want to keep the screen down a lot of the times because you do have that 1.6-inch sub-screen, they call it, which is nice. So I have one of the, it comes by default, but I have one of the programmable keys set to turn it on and off. And there's a lot that you could do with this. Time, notifications, we'll show the different faces that you can have in a moment. But what you could also do is scroll through different ones, notifications, but you can have it music. You can link it to Spotify, different music apps, so you control your music that way. You got a gimbal or some sort of leveling thing. But the other thing is the camera. So you could use this as a way to take a selfie with the main 64 megapixel shooter on the back of the device, which is good. It reminds me of your old Palm Treo 750, where it had a little itty bitty mirror that you'd use to kind of take a selfie with the back of the camera on the back of the device. Same thing, but a lot more, a lot better than that. 64 megapixel camera, nothing to write home about. We'll put up a display, a sample shot here. Does the job in decent lighting. The camera is certainly not the reason why you're going to get this. 6.5-inch LCD, 1080p display, which is great. I don't know where, I know Unihertz doesn't build their own panels. I don't know where they're sourcing them from or where they have been recently, but between the panel that they put on the Unihertz tank and the panel that they put here, really good stuff. Love the quality for the price. Great colors, decent brightness, good contrast, video, YouTube, stuff like that is really a pleasure to watch on it. It's got a Dimensity 700. Dimensity 700, MediaTek. Now, I've seen these, people will poo-poo them and say, oh, if it's not a Snapdragon, I don't care. Let me tell you something. I've been using these MediaTeks for the past couple years, whether it's in the Moto devices, the G-Stylus had one, a couple other devices that have had them. And every single time, I've been impressed with their performance. Every single time, I thought I was going to be disappointed or notice hiccups or notice lag. I absolutely have not. Just absolutely great. Everything you're going to do daily task-wise. Twitter was no problem. You know, Twitter on a lot of Android devices isn't very good. Twitter's no problem. Instagram was smooth. Scrolling was smooth. Going through the UI was smooth. Everything was great. Because it's a 700, you get 5G as well. 5G tested on T-Mobile. No problems whatsoever. So you're going to have compatibility there in the United States. Verizon as well. AT&T. You're out of luck because AT&T doesn't play nice with others. But that's for another day. But overall, you're not going to find yourself lacking. And every single time also with these Dimensity chips, not only have they had enough power to get the job done, but they've also been great with power efficiency. And let me explain to you, show you an example of that right now. 5,200 milliamp hour battery in this guy here. I'm going to go into here, make sure I'm not showing anything I'm not supposed to be showing. But here it is. This was yesterday. Okay? I don't know if you can see this. Screen on time. 7 hours and 25 minutes with 24% left. And that was streaming, that was whatever, web surfing, everything. This is an absolutely battery beast. You're going to get 10 hours at decent performance with a rugged build, with the decent display quality at 1080p, with the outer displays, 1.3 inches, by the way, with the outer display subscreen, a little bit something different, conversation piece for $269. Pretty good when you think about it. 8 gigs of RAM also on it, which I like a lot. because that's going to make your experience all the smoother. It's going to be able to cache up your home screens and all the rest of it and your apps and stuff, so you're going to be able to zoom around the UI without much issue with that 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, dual SIM, no expandable storage, no headphone jack, which is disappointing, but it is IP68 dust and water resistant, and you got the flap down here for a USB-C charging port, 30-watt charging, which does come in the box, which is good. Fingerprint sensor could be a little squirrely. The big thing, though, it works fine, though, and I would recommend it over the face unlock, because the face unlock works, and it works well. The problem is it's fast, and it tries to catch your face at every angle possible. If you go near this thing and pick it up, it lights up the display and tries to face unlock it, just buzz a million times in your hand. So I would turn that off, even though it works well. Stick with the fingerprint sensor, and you'll be better off, especially when you're manhandling a little bit and trying to use the subscreen. So let's go into the subscreen settings, because I do think it's plenty cool. Go ahead and pull that up here. Go to settings, and then there's its own little section here. When you go into regular settings, you can see subscreen settings. Select clock plate, which we'll go into. Screen timeout, I have it set for 30 seconds. Backlight level, you can make it nice and bright. Main screen, this is where you'd also set up your app select for your music app. You can link it to the music app that you want. Taking photos, all the rest of it, the resolutions, notification screens, stuff that you could get on with here. But also select clock plate. I like this a lot. You can have a bunch of ones to choose from with different complications, steps, battery life. Keep track of that. And you could also add your own little personalization. You want to add a photo, something like that. But you could go ahead and change it back to this one. And then when you turn it over, and I got this here, and you could use that button on the bottom there, the programmable button, to turn that on and off. Overall, it's good. Overall, the performance is good. Android 12, I mean, that's a downside, but that's not Unihertz's fault, because it's love it or hate it now at this point with the Material U, kind of the stock pixel experience, because that's what Google's exporting. You know, we love when these companies, and there's no bloatware on this one, by the way. They put a little toolbox in here, but it stays out of your way. I love when companies go stock Android, and we love when smaller manufacturers go stock Android, because it makes updating easier. It makes the user experience that much better. It doesn't bog down kind of budget processors like this one. But at the same time, this is what Google's exporting to people. So I either love it or hate it. I personally don't like it, but if you're not bothered by it, then you're not going to have an issue with it, because it is relatively stock Android. But $269, link will be in the description. Overall, something fun, something different, unique. I love the build better than the TickTock-E, like I said. And that rear display is pretty cool. Got to face down at a table. You say, hold on, let me see the time. Got any notifications. You pop that on, and all of a sudden, you're starting a conversation about your mobile device. Let me know what you think below. If you've used the TickTock before, Unihertz has been getting better with the software updates as well. My Unihertz Titan, the original one, the keyboard one, just got an update to the security patch from December of last year. So Unihertz has been getting with the software. They've been honing it in, optimizing. Really like what they've done. It's just something. I love options. I just love options. I love something different. You know, give me just away from the Google and the Samsung and the iPhone. Here in the United States, just give me something I could use, I could sink my teeth into, that's new, and it, may not check every box for you, but at $269, maybe it doesn't have to. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.